So I have always loved morally complex characters. Characters who want to do good, but they have personal demons that they are fighting, or some characters that are just straight up villains. Characters like Batman, Darth Vader, Killmonger, or even Llewellyn. If you know, you know. They're all very complicated, and I've always loved watching and reading about them. However, after watching The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, having a character like Ser Duncan the Tall is honestly so refreshing, and it feels like he is the type of person that we need in the world right now.
Stop raping, sir!
And again, don't get me wrong, I love the morally complex characters of Game of Thrones. Tyrion Lannister and Jon Snow, especially in the books, are some of my favorite characters ever written. I love the fact that Tyrion Lannister knows that Joffrey is a freaking psychopath and a bastard, the product of incest between his brother and his sister, but he still protects him and makes sure that he stays king because he loves his family. And I don't even know why he loves his family, because they all freaking suck, except for Jaime, of course. The way Tyrion kills and manipulates people for his own personal game is just so entertaining. When I watch that, I'm like, hell yeah, Half-Man, kill all those innocent people, I don't care. But again, it is so refreshing to see a character like Ser Duncan the Tall, who all he wants to do is be a good person. Dunk is just a sweet and innocent hedge knight who just wants to do the right thing. He is not this morally gray character. He believes in protecting the innocent above all else, and it is amazing. And the coolest part is, it's not even boring. It can be really easy to fall in the trap of having a boring good guy who just wants to do the right thing. However, having a classic good guy trying to figure out his life in this chaotic world of Game of Thrones is very fun. I've said this a million times, but this show really does remind me of James Gunn's Superman. That movie is literally all about Superman trying his best to do the right thing in this wild world that is the DC universe. In my opinion, it got kind of exhausting seeing the edgy Superman that we saw in movies like Man of Steel or Injustice. Movies where he would just crash through buildings without a care in the world about the people that were there. Like, yeah man, really cool, that was a really cool scene, but I bet 100 people just died. Sure, the idea of an evil Superman is a very cool concept, but then we just started getting it all of the time. It was like, I have this really original deal. What if we had Superman, but he was evil? Like, yeah man, real original. That would be crazy. And it's the same thing with the Game of Thrones universe. When Game of Thrones first came out, it was unique and different. It was edgy and cool, and it subverted your expectations in an interesting way. The earlier seasons did. We ain't talking about the later ones. But when House of the Dragons came out, which I like, by the way, this isn't a diss on House of the Dragons, that show just kind of felt like Game of Thrones 2.0. It felt like a bunch of characters who were all kind of mean, all kind of characters who I don't really want to see win, trying to kill each other over a really uncomfortable chair. But not only is Ser Duncan a new, refreshing character that we just love watching and can actually invest in, he is a character that you can legitimately look up to. And it's not just because he's tall, haha, get it? No? Well, I thought it was funny. With everything going on in the media and politics, it's nice to have a character that we can actually look up to and who's actually a good person, because I don't even know who we can look up to anymore. It feels like every single politician has this alternate agenda, and it feels like every single actor or influencer is just trying to sell us on their crypto scam.
As a person who understands, I think, the NFT space.
No, Logan Paul, I am not going to buy your NFTs. You've asked me like 1,000,000 times. But with Ser Duncan the Tall, we don't have someone with an ulterior motive, and we don't have someone who's trying to scam us. We have a person that we can actually look up to and relate to. Having this big innocent goofball who just wants to help people, who just wants to protect the innocent, in my opinion, is exactly who we need right now as a society.
I'm a bit puny.
You'll grow.
Even for my age. Everyone's always told me so.
Everyone's always told me I was stupid.
And? What?
What?
What did you do when people said you were stupid, sir?
What business is that of yours? My problems are my own.
And I understand what I'm about to say might come back to haunt me, and it is very, very early, but where this show is going, I think I might like this show more than Game of Thrones. And I know, that is total blasphemy, but after reading the book and watching the show, Ser Duncan the Tall is the type of person that we need in today's chaotic world, and I know that this is cringy, and I know that he's fictional, but I do hope that one day I can be at least half the man he is, because, you could be worse than a big, lovable goofball who just wants to help innocent people. If we had more people like Ser Duncan the Tall in our world, then I think that our society would be much more peaceful and cooperative. But as I said before, this show is freaking amazing, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. And I'm so excited for the rest of the series. This is just amazing. 10 out of 10 would watch this so many times.